Hello everyone, bonjour, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we will learn English through a story. A story of courage, hope, and inspiration. Are you ready to be moved? This is the incredible journey of a man who faced countless challenges yet never gave up. His name is Barack Obama. A boy who grew up with hardships but rose to become the 44th President of the United States, proving to the world that with determination, hard work, and belief in yourself, anything is possible. In this story, we'll walk through his early years, his struggles, his dreams, and the people who helped shape his path. It's a story about overcoming obstacles and fighting for a brighter future. And as you listen, not only will you improve your English, but you'll also discover valuable life lessons along the way. Barack Hussein Obama was born on August 4, 1961, in the beautiful state of Hawaii, located in the heart of the Pacific Ocean. But even though he entered the world in the United States, his story begins far beyond its shores. His father, Barack Obama Sr., came from Kenya, a country in East Africa. His mother, Stanley Ann Dunham, was from the state of Kansas in America's Midwest. They met while Obama's father was studying in Hawaii. But soon after Barack was born, his parents separated, and Barack's father returned to Kenya. From the very beginning, life wasn't easy for young Barack. His father was far away, and his mother worked tirelessly to raise him. Yet, despite these challenges, Barack grew up with extraordinary hope and ambition. Even when things were tough, he never stopped dreaming of a better life. When he was a small child, his father would send him letters. Although Barack couldn't fully understand every word, he treasured them deeply. Those letters became symbols of love, proof that even from across the ocean, his father cared. Even though they were apart, Barack knew his father was an important part of who he was. But while his father wasn't present in his daily life, Barack was blessed with other powerful influences, especially his mother, Ann Dunham. She was a woman of great strength, wisdom, and endless dedication. Ann worked hard to ensure Barack had everything he needed to succeed. She wasn't just his mother, she was his teacher, his guide, and his biggest supporter. Ann taught Barack to stay curious, to ask questions, and to believe that he could achieve anything he set his mind to. Her work ethic and belief in education became some of the strongest lessons she ever passed on to him. Even though Barack's childhood didn't include many material things, he grew up rich in love, attention, and the unshakable belief that he could one day change the world. Besides his mother, Barack was also deeply influenced by his grandparents. His grandfather was a tough man, hardworking and resilient, while his grandmother was kind and nurturing, always taking care of others. Together, they gave Barack a sense of stability and belonging. They made sure he had everything he needed and supported him in everything he did. Even though Barack grew up without his father around, he never felt truly alone. Instead, he learned to appreciate the people who stood by him, those who loved him and supported him no matter what. From them, Barack learned that family isn't just about blood, it's about the people who care for you, lift you up, and encourage you to follow your dreams. As Barack Obama grew older, his journey became not just about family, but about finding his identity. Being the son of an African father and an American mother, Barack often felt caught between two worlds. He didn't quite fit in anywhere. At school, he was often the only black student in his class. People would ask him questions like, "Where are you from?" or "What's your background?" Those questions might have seemed innocent, but for Barack, they carried a deeper struggle. He didn't fully belong to either side. He wasn't completely part of the African American community because he hadn't grown up in Africa, and he didn't fully fit into the white community because of his African heritage. For a long time, Barack struggled to answer the simple question, "Who am I?" But instead of letting that confusion define him, he decided to turn it into strength. He learned to embrace his differences and see them as gifts, not barriers. His mixed background allowed him to understand people from many walks of life. He realized that the world needed more people who could bridge divides, who could connect rather than separate cultures. That realization would shape the rest of his life. Barack always had big dreams.
As a young boy, he didn't know exactly how he would achieve them, but he knew that education was the key. He worked hard in school and excelled in his studies. Still, success didn't come easy. He faced discrimination, doubts, and challenges that many young people from difficult backgrounds face. But through it all, Barack's resilience shone brightly. He refused to give up. After finishing high school, Barack took a bold step. He left his home in Hawaii and moved to the mainland United States to attend Occidental College in California. It was a major change. He was far from family, far from everything familiar. But Barack was ready. He wanted to grow, to learn, and to explore the wider world beyond the islands. At Occidental, Barack was exposed to a whole new universe of ideas and people. He met students from all kinds of backgrounds, and his worldview began to expand. Yet, along with the excitement, came pressure, the weight of his own expectations. He knew he had to work harder, think deeper, and push himself further if he wanted to achieve his dreams. After 2 years, Barack made another bold move. He transferred to Columbia University in New York City, one of the top universities in the United States. It was another big leap, from the calm of California to the bustling heart of New York. But Barack was ready. He wanted to succeed. At Columbia, he studied political science, a field that would later shape his entire career. He became increasingly aware of the social issues affecting the world: racial inequality, poverty, and injustice. He saw how many people were struggling just to survive, and he felt a growing desire to help. For Barack, education was no longer just about getting a degree. It was about using knowledge to make the world a better place. After graduating from Columbia University, Barack Obama made another life-changing decision. He moved to Chicago, a city full of challenges and opportunities. There, he took on a job as a community organizer, working in some of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. It wasn't a glamorous job. It didn't come with fame or wealth. Instead, it came with long days, countless meetings, and endless obstacles. Barack's work was about listening, truly listening, to people's struggles and finding ways to make their lives better. Many of the communities he worked in were struggling with unemployment, poor housing, and a lack of hope. At first, people were skeptical. They doubted that a young man with no power or money could make any real change. But Barack didn't give up. He believed deeply in something powerful, that ordinary people, when united, could change their world. He spent days walking through neighborhoods, talking to families, attending community meetings, and helping people find solutions to their problems. He fought for better schools, safer housing, and fair job opportunities. Slowly but surely, people began to trust him. They saw that he wasn't there for attention. He was there because he cared. Barack's years as a community organizer were full of challenges, but they taught him lessons that would guide him for life. He learned the importance of education, the strength of unity, and the power of belief. He discovered that leadership isn't about commanding people, it's about empowering them. Through his work in Chicago, Barack realized that the true strength of a community lies in its people, their hope, their resilience, and their willingness to work together for change. He saw that when people believe in themselves and support one another, nothing is impossible. Those years laid the foundation for everything that came next. Barack's work wasn't just about fixing small problems. It was about teaching people to believe that they could make a difference, not just in their own lives, but in the lives of those around them. And though he was making an impact, Barack knew deep down that to create even greater change, he would have to take the next step, to enter the world of politics. Barack Obama knew that if he truly wanted to make a bigger impact, he had to take his passion for change to the next level. Politics. But it wasn't an easy decision. He was young, black, and had little political experience. The road ahead would be tough, but he had something that set him apart, a deep understanding of the struggles ordinary people faced and a genuine desire to help them. In 1996, Barack decided to run for the Illinois State Senate, marking his first step into the political world. He knew the campaign wouldn't be easy. He faced strong opponents, people with more experience, more connections, and more money. But Barack had something more powerful, a vision. He believed government should serve everyone, especially those forgotten by the system.
Unlike many politicians who relied on expensive ads and fancy events, Barack chose a different path. He went door to door, meeting people face to face, listening to their concerns, their hopes, and their dreams. He wanted to show them that their voices mattered, that someone was finally listening. Against the odds, Barack won the election and became a state senator in Illinois. It was the beginning of something much bigger. As a senator, he worked tirelessly to pass laws that improved healthcare, strengthened education, and supported the poor. He believed in bringing people together, Republicans and Democrats alike, to find common ground instead of creating division. But even with success, Barack still felt there was more to do. He realized that to make real, lasting change, he needed to reach a national audience. So he set his sights on the U.S. Senate. In 2004, before officially running for the position, Barack was invited to speak at the Democratic National Convention, a moment that would change his life forever. At the time, he was still relatively unknown. But when he stepped onto that stage, something magical happened. He spoke with passion, unity, and hope. His words weren't just heard, they were felt. Millions of people watching from home were moved by his message. He said, "There's not a liberal America and a conservative America. There's the United States of America." That single line struck a deep chord across the nation. Barack's message was clear, that what unites us is stronger than what divides us, that America could be one nation, built on hope, not fear. That night, Barack Obama wasn't just another politician anymore. He became a symbol of inspiration, a voice for change, a bridge between communities, and a reminder that hope could still exist in politics. The speech catapulted him into the national spotlight and made millions believe that he might one day lead the country. Barack's move into politics marked a new chapter in his journey. Running for the Illinois State Senate in 1996 was his first step, and he knew it wouldn't be easy. His opponents were seasoned, well-connected, and wealthy. Yet Barack had something more powerful, a vision for a government that truly served the people, especially those often overlooked. He campaigned differently than most politicians. Instead of relying on flashy ads or expensive events, he went door to door, talking directly with citizens, listening to their hopes, fears, and concerns. He wanted people to know that their voices mattered, that someone was genuinely listening. Against the odds, he won, becoming a state senator and taking his first real steps toward changing the world. As a senator, he worked tirelessly to pass laws that improved healthcare, strengthened education, and supported underprivileged communities. He believed in unity, seeking common ground between Republicans and Democrats alike, showing that collaboration could achieve real results. But even with these successes, he knew that to create broader change, he would need a larger platform, a national stage. In 2004, before formally running for the U.S. Senate, Barack received an invitation that would change his life forever. Speaking at the Democratic National Convention. At the time, he was still relatively unknown, yet the moment on that stage was transformative. With sincerity, passion, and hope, he delivered words that resonated far beyond the convention hall. Millions across the country were captivated by his message of unity, that America was stronger together than divided by fear or partisanship.
That night, Barack Obama emerged not just as a politician, but as a symbol of inspiration, a uniting voice for change. His speech propelled him into the national spotlight, setting the stage for the next monumental step, his journey to the U.S. Senate and eventually the presidency. Every step, from state senator to national figure, demonstrated the power of perseverance, the importance of listening, and the belief that ordinary people could come together to achieve extraordinary change. When Barack Obama stepped into the Oval Office in January 2009, the United States was facing immense challenges: a major economic crisis, wars overseas, and deep divisions at home. Yet he approached the presidency with the same determination, hope, and belief in the power of ordinary people to create change that had defined his entire life. One of his first priorities was to stabilize the economy. Through difficult decisions, he worked to save jobs, support families, and restore confidence in the nation's financial system. At the same time, he focused on healthcare reform, believing that every American, deserved access to quality medical care. The Affordable Care Act, which he championed, became a cornerstone of his presidency and a lasting legacy. Obama also placed great emphasis on education, recognizing it as the key to opportunity and equality. He invested in schools, promoted innovative programs, and inspired young people to believe in their potential. He wanted every child, no matter their background, to dream big and have the tools to achieve those dreams. On the international stage, Obama sought to build bridges rather than walls. He emphasized diplomacy, collaboration, and dialogue, understanding that true leadership requires listening as much as speaking. His efforts to strengthen alliances and promote peace earned him worldwide respect and a Nobel Peace Prize in 2009. Throughout his presidency, Obama faced criticism and opposition, sometimes fierce and personal. But he never lost sight of his core values: hope, unity, and the belief that people can work together to overcome challenges. He led with empathy, integrity, and resilience, showing that true leadership is about service, not power. Beyond policy and politics, Obama inspired millions with his words and example. His story reminded people that life is not determined by where you start, but by the courage, hard work, and vision you bring to the journey. He encouraged young people to dream big, to act boldly, and to believe in the possibility of a better world. By the time he left office in 2017, Barack Obama had not only shaped history through his policies, but had also transformed the way people thought about leadership, hope, and change. His presidency showed that one person, committed to making a difference, can inspire millions and leave a lasting mark on the world. Barack Obama's journey, from a boy in Hawaii to the White House, is more than a biography. It is a story of resilience, courage, and the power of believing in oneself. It is a testament to what can be achieved when hope is stronger than fear and unity stronger than division. Barack Obama's story doesn't end with his presidency. In many ways, it continues through the lessons he left behind, lessons that can guide anyone, anywhere, in any walk of life. First, his journey teaches us the power of resilience. Life will always have obstacles: family challenges, societal barriers, or personal doubts. Barack faced all of these, yet he never gave up. He reminds us that setbacks are not the end of the story. They are opportunities to grow, learn, and push forward. Second, Obama shows the importance of education and curiosity. From his mother's encouragement to his years in school and community organizing, he understood that knowledge opens doors. Learning isn't just about grades or degrees. It's about understanding the world and finding ways to make it better. Third, his life illustrates the value of community and empathy. Obama's work in Chicago's neighborhoods taught him that real change comes from listening, understanding, and empowering others. Leadership isn't about controlling people. It's about inspiring them to believe in themselves and work together for a common goal. Fourth, Barack's story is about hope and vision.
Even when circumstances seemed impossible, he held on to a vision of a better future. That hope became a guiding light, not only for him, but for millions of people who watched his journey and believed that change was possible. Finally, his life emphasizes the power of unity and bridging divides. Being of mixed heritage and navigating multiple cultures, Obama learned to connect people across differences. He showed the world that understanding and cooperation are stronger than division and fear. Barack Obama's life is proof that ordinary people can do extraordinary things. It reminds us that where we start doesn't define where we can go. It shows that courage, hard work, compassion, and belief in oneself can transform dreams into reality. As we reflect on his journey, from a boy in Hawaii to a world leader, we are reminded that each of us has the power to make a difference. Every act of kindness, every effort to help others, every choice to stand for what is right contributes to a better world. Barack Obama's story is more than the tale of a president. It is a story of hope, resilience, and determination. From his early struggles in Hawaii to the White House, his life shows that challenges do not define us, our choices do. He teaches us that education, curiosity, and empathy are tools not just for personal success, but for creating meaningful change. His years as a community organizer remind us that true leadership comes from listening, understanding, and empowering others. Most importantly, Barack's journey emphasizes that hope can move mountains. By believing in ourselves and standing for others, we can make a difference in the world. Learning English works the same way. It opens doors to new knowledge, inspires growth, and connects us to people worldwide. Just as education empowered Barack, improving your English empowers you to learn, communicate, and achieve your dreams while making a positive impact.